What is Family Constellations? Part 1. Family Constellations is a healing modality that focuses on the way things like codependency, narcissism, money issues, abandonment, unhealed trauma, and more live on and affect the lives of future generations in a family. We look at these family issues because when they go unaddressed, we are highly likely to continue playing them out across so many areas of our lives. Are you someone that's made that connection, that the roles you played and the survival strategies you developed within your family are still showing up and negatively influencing your life today? Perhaps you've seen these connections in the way you behave in romantic relationships, or in the partners you keep choosing over and over again. Maybe you've seen it in the way you handle money or the career paths you've chosen. Or, of course, you might be noticing the way these patterns affect how you've gone about starting your own family and raising your own children. Making these connections is part of Family Constellations work, and it's important, but it's only part of it. Because consciously knowing that these patterns are playing out doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be free of them. In fact, if you're watching this, you're probably someone who's explored these family patterns in some way or another, maybe in therapy. And yet, despite having named them, you might still be feeling completely stuck in them. That's why the next piece is so important. Family Constellations lets you experience what it feels like to step out of these patterns, to embody what it's like to let go of the baggage or disentangle yourself from family expectations or the roles that you've been playing up until this point. That's the missing piece, and it changes everything. When you can embody a healthier relationship to your family, it frees you to create meaningful changes in your life outside of the workshop. It's the experiential part, the ability to experience a better way that allows you to change your trajectory in big ways. And this is what those who swear by Family Constellations say all the time, that to be able to embody a healthier way of relating to family in a workshop empowered them to create tangible shifts in many areas of their lives in the following weeks and months afterwards. Go to the next video for part 2, where you'll learn what happens at a Family Constellations workshop or retreat, and how it can help and support healing change. What happens in a Family Constellations workshop or retreat? At a Family Constellations event, a group comes together to support each other in healing long-standing personal or family issues, and the work is guided by a facilitator trained in Family Constellations. During the program, each person has the opportunity to set up their own family constellation, which is really just another word for a living, breathing family map. The facilitator guides the client, whose turn it is, how to set up their own map by picking fellow participants in the room to represent their family members, a partner, a boss, an ex, or other entities that are relevant to what the client wants to explore and heal. Once the constellation is set up, the representatives are asked to simply follow their gut, to feel into what they want to do, to walk where they want to walk, and to face whichever participants they want to face. And what happens next is often both surprising and profound. In only a few moments, a deeper picture of the client's family or present-day life starts to come through. For example, the representative for mom might start to smother the representative for her son, or the representative for father might become distant from the rest of the group. Despite the fact that the representatives know very little about the client's family, they're strangers after all, something surprisingly relevant and resonant can show up in a matter of moments. Here's a great video of actor Guy Pearce describing his experience of the first time he set up a family constellation about his father, who died in an accident when Pearce was only 8 years old.
I'd done this constellation sort of family therapy in Amsterdam that Carice took me to, that we did together, which was incredible, really was incredible, where you have a bunch of strangers that you don't know and you give them all roles, and they don't know the roles that they're playing, whether it's your mother, your father, your sister. And before we even started, the guy that had been allocated to play my father went to the corner of the room and just burst into tears, and it's going to make me cry. And he apologised and just said, "I'm so sorry for leaving." And it hadn't ever really occurred to me that Dad needed to say that. But it occurred to me in that moment, and it also occurred to me in that moment that I wanted to forgive him.
One of the reasons people gravitate towards this work is that it's so helpful in revealing deeper dynamics in the family, that what comes to light is often something the client was unconscious of, but once revealed, offers enormous clarity. Sometimes it's a realization that they're ready to forgive a family member, as it was in the case of Guy Pearce. Sometimes it comes in the form of clarity about how past baggage is preventing them from living more fully or authentically. And sometimes it shows a person exactly how a relationship is no longer serving them. Because everyone's experience is unique, there's countless possibilities for what this process can bring to light and help heal for the client.